Okay, so I am going to be talking you through how to write an analysing argument essay. So, here we go. Let's start. Alright, so this is what it will basically look like at the end of the essay. Okay, you'll have your introduction, you'll have your 3 paragraphs, and each of those paragraphs will address a different argument. So if you've got 3 arguments in your article, then you'll have 3 paragraphs. If you have 2 arguments, you'll have 2 paragraphs. If you have 10, you'll have 10. Hopefully, you won't have 10. No, you wouldn't have 10. Okay, so you start with your introduction and you have iTask. Now we're going to talk about iTask in a minute, so don't panic. But keep in mind that iTask is a guide of the kind of things to put in your introduction. It's not the Bible, okay? So just work it in naturally. Don't worry about like, oh, I haven't got the A, I haven't got the S and the C, I've only got the S, whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? As long as it flows nicely and you kind of cover the basics. Okay, then you go through each argument and your arguments have your topic sentence, which outlines the argument, and then you have 2 persuasive pulls per argument, and with each of those persuasive pulls you answer those 2 questions. What does it attempt to make the reader think? And how does that thought make them more likely to agree with the contention? So you do that for all 3 arguments. Okay, and then you have your conclusion where you restate your contention and your arguments. So let's talk about iTask. Okay, so your introduction covers these kind of things. The first one is the issue. You need to tell me basically what the issue in the article is, okay, without any bias. So it might be that, say I am reading an article about that we should axe uniforms. The issue is uniform policy. If I am reading an article that is saying dogs are better than cats, then my issue would be suitability of pets. Anyway, so that's the issue. Then you need the text. So T stands for text, and that's title and the title, the article publication stuff. So it might be dogs are the best, and you put that in inverted commas. That's the title of the article. And then it was published in the Herald Sun, and you underline that. Okay, so the title of the article gets inverted commas and where it was published is underlined. Then you have the author, so who wrote it. You also need the audience, so who was the target audience for this piece? Who would be most likely to read this piece? Okay, so for instance, an article about dogs being better than cats obviously is directed at pet owners, particularly dog owners. Relationship is the next one, and that is sometimes the author who wrote the article has a connection to the issue. So for instance, the dog better than cats one, perhaps it's written by a vet. That would be the relationship. Stance is about how they feel about the basic issue. So for instance, with the dogs being better than cats one, then you would say that the stance is a pro-dog stance. And then the contention is, well, you know the contention. So basically you put those pieces of information into your introduction. So iTask, I-T-A-A-R-S-C. Okay? All right, let me show you how it's done. Here's an example. Now, the article that I'm using is the article that we looked at the other day on the Werribee toxic dump. So I've used that as our example. So let's have a look. Actually, what I'll do is I'll even highlight it. Okay, so we've got the city of Werribee has decided. Hang on. Let me make this a little bit more easy for you to read. Okay, there we go. The city of Whittlesea has been decided as the site for a new toxic waste facility. Although it will bring much needed finance and employment to the area, there has been some backlash about possible environmental damage it may cause. That is the issue. The issue is about Werribee getting a toxic dump site. Okay. Barry MacArthur, that's the author. I'm going to need a lot of highlighting colours, aren't I? Oop, that didn't work. There we go. Barry MacArthur in the Saturday Herald Sun. Oh, I haven't underlined it. That is the title of the publication. So I need to put that in pink. Examines this issue and presents an anti-waste site stance. Anti-waste site stance. Ugh, that's a tongue twister. He contends, here's the contention. There's the stance. Maybe I'll change the colour now. The stance. He contends to Werribee residents that it is unforgivable to allow toxic waste sites to be set up in Werribee, as it not only will not only have an effect on Victoria's food production, but also opens the floodgates for other bad decisions. Okay, so there. Boo, 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 boo. There is my contention. What will I do with that one? Let's make that green writing. Okay. As a fellow Victorian, there is my relationship. Let's make that blue. Blue? Yeah. MacArthur is concerned for the welfare of Werribee. Still about relationship. Relationship, as he recognises its value to the vital food bowl that Victoria relies upon. Okay, so in that, I have done, let's go back one. Can I go back one? Oh, there we go. So in that, I did the issue and I did that yellow. Let's highlight that yellow. And then I did the text title in pink. Now, one thing I did notice is that I didn't actually write the article's name, which I really should go back and do, which we will. And then I did the author. Now, what colour did I do the author? I did it green. The author was green. Obviously, you don't need to do all these colour coordinatings, but I think sometimes it helps, you know, just kind of visually see it. Let's have a look. What was the next one? Audience. Whoop. As a fellow Victorian, so that is my audience. My apologies, my loves. What colour can I do that? No, I don't want to do it that colour. Let's have a look. Orange. Ooh, that's really hard to read, isn't it? Let's go purple. Purple. Perfect. As a fellow Victorian, so it's kind of saying, you know, that Victorians would be reading this. So that's the audience. Purple. Relationship, I think I did that in blue, didn't I? Yeah. MacArthur is concerned for the welfare of Werribee. Yep, so relationship. Blue. Blue, blue, blue. Which blue did I use? That one. And then stance. Stance I did in red. Red. Red, red one. There we go. And contention was in green. All right. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go to the stickies article that we looked at yesterday. And I want you to basically write an introduction for the stickies article based on what I've shown you here. So based on the iTask stuff. And the model that I've shown you. Obviously, I don't want it to sound exactly the same as this. I want you to put your own spin on it, okay? Good luck.